Okay, so let's go ahead and make our way over to our mat. We're going to use our blanket. So let's grab our blanket. I've got a nice dog on mine. Excuse me, puppy. I'm so sorry. So let's bring our blanket into that quarter shape if you can. And then we're going to make that nice little roll rather than our blocks. And of course, he wants to get on my lap now. So we're going to roll our blanket so that we can lay our spine upon it. If you don't have a blanket, you can always use a foam roller to lay upon. And then just bring one end to your kind of the base of your tailbone. It can be a little bit further away too. And then just go ahead and roll and lay over that so it's along the length of your spine, and make sure your head is supported tonight. And then get to choose with what you want to do with your legs. Perhaps you wish to bend them. Perhaps you wish to lengthen them out. Thank you, buddy. Just find what feels right for you. And then maybe it feels right to just let your arms start to open to the letter T. And as you let yourself start to land here on the mat, just start to come into your breath. Just start to notice your breath as you start to feel your back body surrender down. And just feel all parts of you begin to land. You rest down and land down. Just feel your front body beginning to soften down into your back body. And the scripture today that spoke to me was Micah 6:8. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. So as I was planting the butterfly garden, it just, I don't know why that spoke to me, but it did for today. And the reading from the Book of Awakening today, of course, is chasing the butterfly. So I thought, how perfect. In release, we begin. So he starts with a story. Once when I was 6, I chased a butterfly halfway through a reservoir before cupping it in my boyish hands. I had the beautiful thing, but couldn't see it. To see it, I had to let go. I kept my hands cupped as long as I could, past the nose, inch by inch, and leg jiggle. And then the dark flittering against my palms made me open, and a magnificent plates of color lifted against my will. Now, chasing the butterfly seems a way of life, afraid to lose or to be left out. We chase and cling, and clinging, we are lost. It seems so obvious it seems so obvious once living it. And I know now that what I held so tightly within was the presence of God, which held in felt like pain and fear and terror. And the vital lesson here is that the deepest thing beats within, made dark and fearful by our holding, only uplifting the instant we let go. So just start to breathe in, and as you breathe in, perhaps there's a gentle affirmation that you can find in this, or something that will speak to you to hold throughout class. So perhaps as you're breathing in, maybe your breath gets just a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller, as you feel that gentle support there beneath you. And as your heart is opening to receive this wisdom that is for you this evening, just let your heart receive that. So a possible mantra tonight can be, I release and begin again, or I release and trust in my unfolding. Just take a few more letting go breaths here before we start to move. So depending on where your legs are, let's just start to bend the knees and start to bring the feet to the earth. And just walk the feet a little bit wider than hip distance and just let them gently rock side to side as you start to bring in this space between the hips, as you still feel that blanket there supporting you. Let's do that one more time each side. And then we're going to pause on that side that we end on and just gently roll to that side and just remove that blanket out from underneath you and just set it off to the side so you have it there later. And then come back onto your back and just draw the knees in and just gently rock. Start to circle maybe gently the knees, circling them together in one way. And then gently pause and reverse that circle as you release and trust in the unfolding. So now start to still the knees, and now we're just going to bring our hands to each corresponding knee and just start to circle the knees open. So just circle the knees out and open, create even more space throughout those hips. You feel the hips and sacrum land. And then gently pause and reverse the circle, move away from you and then back in. And then now start to still the legs and just lengthen out those legs, sending the heels to the sky. And just take this moment to pause with the legs nice and long and start to breathe along the back of the legs. And then we're going to just soften the left foot down to the earth and bring that right ankle on top of that left thigh. Let's take a moment to just gently press the thighs away as we lengthen out the back body. Pardon my dog. And now just slowly release the palms and draw the knees in, engaging the core, and just hold here to the back of the thigh, to the shins. And just breathe. And keep a gentle flexion through that right foot to keep that knee in alignment. And just start to let the breath flow into the tight, sticky spaces as you release and trust in your unfolding. Maybe just take a moment to just start to point and flex your feet. Just start to bring a little space in between the ankles. And then as you start to release a little bit more, let the hips just land. Start to let the hands unlock and drop that left foot down to the earth. Let's spread our wings as our arms open wide and gently just let the knees drift to the left. And take that moment to look to the right. Just feel that back body unfurl as you twist. Start to breathe in the expansive space all throughout the spine. And now gently draw the knees up as the gaze comes up on that inhale, and then let them drift to the right just for a moment. Maybe look to the left. And then gently draw the knees back to the sky. Inhale, lengthen out both legs. And just pause here. Feel the heels align over the hips. Take that moment to just breathe as you send the breath all along the back of the thighs. And then we're going to soften the right knee as the right foot finds the earth, and then gently bend the left ankle and bring it to the right thigh, or left knee. Bring the ankle to the right thigh. And then bring the heels of the palms, and once again, right below the hips, press those thighs away. Start to breathe in the length in the back. And then release the palms from the thighs, engage the core, draw the knees in, and reach for whatever you can hold on to. And then bring that slight flexion through that left ankle to keep that knee in alignment. Now just breathe into those tight, sticky spaces. As you breathe in our mantra, I release and trust in my unfolding. So feel free to once again start to point and flex the feet, just moving the ankles and circle them even a little bit. I know that left ankle isn't going to circle quite as much, but just a gentle circle. And let's just be here for another breath or two. And then on your next exhale, release the hands, let that right foot settle down, and then open the arms, spread your wings to the letter T. Slowly let the knees drift over to the right. Take that moment to pause and look to the left. And allow that beautiful breath to just travel through every space, every fiber, every cell. And then as you inhale, draw the gaze up, draw the knees up, let the knees drift to the left, maybe the gaze drifts to the right. And then when you're ready, inhale, draw the knees up, draw the gaze up, slowly lengthen out the left leg, and then the right follows. Find that those nice long legs with the heel stacked over the hips. So now we're going to do our scissor kicks here. So we have two options. So let's first start by bringing our hands behind our heads, and we're just going to point the toes. So you can either just gently tap one toe down at a time. That's a great option. If you wish to add on, you can inhale, lifting up the head, engaging with the transverse abdominals, and then slowly scissor kick the legs one at a time, or just tap one toe down at a time. So really breathe here as you feel the core engaging. Whatever is for you tonight is for you. So listen to your body and trust. Maybe you got two more with each leg. Finishing up that last one. And then let the head come back down. Just open the arms and now bend the knees. And we're going to start to rock forward and back a few times. Rocking forward and back all the way up to seated. If you wish to stop in your boat, you always have that option. And then just let the knees fall open. And we'll pause here in our butterfly pose here, as we are all beautiful butterflies, or chasing those beautiful butterflies. And just take a moment to rock side to side to move the fluff out from underneath the bottom. And then let's inhale up with the arms and gently let one hand reach to one side. Just reach up and over. And now inhale, rise, reach to the other side. Let's do that one more time each side. Inhale brings you high. Exhale softens you. As you breathe in, I release and trust in my unfolding. And now as you inhale, come back to the center. Now paint the canvas down in front of you with those fingertips. Let the hands rest on the ankles and then gently find your forward fold. Just let that head bow down as you release and trust in your unfolding. Maybe shake the head out, shake it no, shake it yes. And then let's come back to the center with our head and gently draw our head and gaze up. And then draw the knees up, maybe you help. And then we're going to do those Russian twists. We did these the other day. So you have the option, if you wish, to keep your hands behind you and you can do your reverse twisting crunches if that's better, or keep that core engaged, nice tall spine. And then we're going to lift the feet if you'd like, and then gently do the twist and touch the earth, maybe with both hands or maybe with just one. So listen to your body and what is for you tonight. Let's do a couple more. Keeping the navel reaching to the spine. Last two. Last one each side. And then drop the feet down, cross the feet at the ankles and gently press yourself forward. Let's come into our tabletop. And then we're going to start to bring a little more movement through the back body, and let's incorporate our feet tonight. So start by spreading your fingers wide, spread them far, deep and wide. And then slowly from the belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze, lift the hips. Breathe through the front of the vertebrae, through the front of the spine. And then as you exhale, flex the feet, lift up into your cat as you breathe into the back of your vertebrae. So now just start that movement as you find your cow, let the belly soften, let the feet soften. And then as you find your cat, flex the feet, lift the spine. So we begin that flow. As you continue to breathe in, I release and trust in my unfolding. Just move through the spine a few more times. And then begin to let the feet relax. Start to sink the hips back and just find your child's pose. Let's just let the belly start to soften on the thighs. Let the back body relax. And just let go of all doing here and just be. And perhaps you wish to just come up into your teepee hands. That is good too. And then as you're ready, if your hands are up in your teepee hands, let the fingers release back, or let the palms release back down. And then inhale back to your table position. And here you can come to your forearm plank or your standard plank with the hands underneath the shoulders. And just pause here if that feels right. Keep pointing those index fingers forward, turning the elbow creases forward. And then this is optional if you're on your forearms, maybe you stay there, but if you wish, you can do those up downs onto the forearms, one elbow bending at a time and then the other, and then reverse and come back up. So let's do that 4 times. maybe alternating the hand coming down, or just hold your plank. And last time. And then we'll all meet back down in our forearm plank. Pause here, breathe here. Just generating a little bit of heat, working those shoulders. And then soften the knees when it feels right, soften the feet, let the hips sink forward, let the palms open, and just start to send the gaze forward. As you begin to soften the glutes, I release and trust in my unfolding. And then maybe it feels right, just gently look back over each shoulder. Bring you forward on that inhale. As you exhale, look over the other shoulder. We're coming back to the center. And just slowly peeling those elbows open. Take a moment to just tuck the chin, lower the forehead down. We're going to invite a little more spaciousness in through the hips before we come on up. So let's draw that right knee up to the side into our kind of 90-degree bend with the foot bent, or the ankle bent at 90 and the knee bent at 90. And now choose where your gaze wants to go. Maybe you wish to look to one side. Just pay attention so that you can alternate the sides. Maybe if you wish, just switch your gaze, look the other way for a moment. And now gently bring your forehead back to the earth, tuck your chin towards the chest, and lengthen out that left arm. We're going to bring the right hand under our shoulder, press through the right foot, and then draw maybe that right foot behind you as you peel yourself open. Just opening through that left shoulder. Letting that earth support your side body as you release and trust in your unfolding. And now slowly come back to your belly. Just let that right leg lengthen out. Draw the left arm in, coming into whatever arms feels right, maybe the goalpost arms. And then we'll draw the left knee up and out to the side, that 90-degree bend. And then choose where your gaze wants to go. And now just like the other side, maybe you flip your gaze or keep looking down. See if you can soften a little bit more. As you breathe in, I release and trust in my unfolding. And now just slowly begin to draw your gaze back to the earth as you tuck your chin, lower the forehead down. Now peel that right arm off to the letter T, draw the left hand underneath the shoulder, and then slowly press through the left foot. Peel yourself open as you draw the left foot behind you. And just be here as you let that side body rest and be held. And now slowly, mindfully coming back to your belly, just lengthen out that left leg. Draw the right arm in under the shoulder, keeping the chin tucked. Let's slowly press ourselves up back to our child's pose. And here in child's pose, let's start to walk our palms together in front of us, bringing the palms together and just bending at the elbows, bringing the back of the palms over the back of the head, perhaps touching the cervical spine. So now re-lengthen out your arms, start to create space between your hands, walking your hands at least shoulder width apart. So now inhale, maybe you come to puppy dog. If the wrists are bothering you today, or you can come into your downward dog and start to march and pedal out those legs as you let the head shake and maybe rock it out. You release and trust in your unfolding. And then when it feels right, just start to let the legs start to find their length as the heels start to soften, lifting the tail high as the belly tucks in, plugging the shoulders in. And then we're going to look between the hands. We're going to soften our knees. Maybe we walk, we step, we hop, however we choose to get to the front edge of our mat, just finding our forward fold. Let's take a moment to gently just rock our hips. Maybe shake a little bit here, wrap the hands on the elbows, whatever feels right. And then we'll still our movement and we'll start to come into our active back extensions. Take your time. Inhale, plug the fingertips into the shins, L-shaped body. Tonight, let's draw the hands back to the hips, soften the knees, and slowly inhale, rise. Let's draw the palms together, interlock the hands, and now turn the palms up to the sky. Let's rock the feet a little forward and back. Find your rooting in, and then we're going to gently lean over to the left. Let's see if we can add on by sending the weight through the left leg and drawing that right foot out to the side. That might challenge the balance today, so always know you can touch the toe down. And then slowly draw the right foot under you, draw the palms back above you, and then exhale, drift to the right with the arms. So you can also stay just as you are, but feel that right foot plant in. Perhaps hover the left foot and maybe draw it off to the left side. Let's inhale, draw the hands up, draw the leg in, and then slowly unlock the hands and let the hands melt back down to the sides. So if you need to take a step forward or two, go ahead. And then we're just going to let the weight rock forward and back as we turn our palms forward. And perhaps finding a nice soft gaze. We're going to start to circle those arms back. So turn the palms towards the thighs and just start to circle the arms back and around. And then we're going to start to sink back into our chair pose. So once our feet feel firmly rooted in, just start to sink the hips back as your arms come back, bending at the knees, and then let the arms reach forward. So sending that weight through the heels. Let's pause here and breathe here. So we're going to stay in our chair pose and step the right foot back. So take your time, step the right toes back, maybe wiggle the toes back there, and then maybe you can reach your hands high. If you need your blocks, go ahead and grab them. And then maybe soften through those shoulders. Now, as you release and trust in your unfolding, just melt the hands down to the heart. We're going to find our revolve here. So slowly revolve towards that left knee. Maybe stay higher, start to plug that outer elbow into the outer thigh. So when you're ready, slowly come up if you're down and come back to the center. And then let's pivot our rear foot. So pivoting that rear foot. So now we're preparing for our warrior two, and then spread those arms wide. And just breathe here. And then we're going to take that time to cartwheel our hands down, framing that front leg. And now just exhale, extend that front leg. Let the hips just relax back in space. So now take your time to just slowly bend that front knee again. And we're going to move into our side angle. So now maybe you can bring that left forearm up to that left thigh, and then just draw that right arm up overhead as you find that side angle. So really feel that outer edge of the foot plant in. And now gently turn those low ribs forward. So you can stay right here, or if you wish to have a little more core strength, you can lengthen out that bottom arm, that supporting arm. And now let that top arm circle down in front of you and pull you back up into your warrior two as you send the gaze out the front fingertips. Start to feel the softness through the shoulders. And then we're going to move into our reverse triangle. So find the length through the front leg, hand reaches up to the sky, that left hand, let the right hand reach down and back. Maybe look down and back for a moment as you release and trust in your unfolding. And now maybe we start to look high back to your light that is within you. And now as we exhale, soften back to our warrior two. Feel the nice open hips here. And then we're going to cartwheel those hands back to down to the earth, maybe with the blocks or not, and then pivot the rear foot. And then slowly exhale, release the rear knee down and pause. And then we'll revolve here closer to the earth. So glue that right hand underneath you and then lift the left hand high. So the right hand's underneath the shoulder or heart area. And now as you exhale, let the left hand float back down, and then exhale, sink the hips back. As you release and trust in your unfolding. Now take your time to let that front knee start to soften and bend. Begin to lift that rear knee, that right knee. And then we're going to step back forward and find our forward fold. So whatever you need here, find it. And then find your stillness. And we're going to start to bring the fingertips up to the shins, active back extension, inhale. Now decide, hands can come to the hips or out to the letter T as the knees soften as you inhale all the way up. And now create the weird interlock with the hands so it feels a little awkward. Charge those palms up to the sky. So once again, we'll lean left. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe you send the weight through the left foot and start to lift the right. Maybe the right foot comes off to the side and maybe it touches the toe down. That's okay too. So slowly bring your hands back, draw your foot back underneath you, and then slowly lean to the right, pause. Either stay here or hover the left foot. Maybe draw the left foot off to the side. And now slowly come back up, touch the foot down, bring the hands back over the head and unlock the hands, let them come back down alongside of your body. Just turn the palms forward for this moment as you find your powerful mountain stance. I release and trust in my unfolding. So now, just like before, let's turn the palms towards the thighs and slowly circle the arms back and around. Circling them back and around a few more times. And when it feels right for you, you can start to sink back into your chair as the arms come back, sinking back, keeping the knees above the ankles. So really actively engaging through those thighs, sending the weight through the heels. So now, just like before, we're going to stay here in our chair and step the left foot back into our high lunge. So take your time, because that might throw off the balance. And then maybe the hands just come high for this moment as the shoulders relax down. So now, keeping that bend through the front knee, stacking it over the ankle. Let's soften the hands down as you release and trust in your unfolding. And start to revolve towards that right knee. Either stay high or come low with that elbow, tapping it to the outer thigh. Feel that nice active energy through that left thigh. We're going to slowly come on up and back to the front, releasing our hands. When you're ready, start to pivot that rear foot and then open the arms wide into your warrior two, making those subtle tweaks. And then just take your time, reverse cartwheel the hands down to meet the earth. And then exhale, let the front leg lengthen out, head folds down. I release and trust in my unfolding. And then find that softness again through the front knee, warrior, getting ready for warrior two. So we're going to side angle, my bad. So now let's just bring that right forearm onto that right thigh. Slowly draw that left arm up and then over, reaching diagonally as you feel that outer edge of the foot planted. So maybe you stay right here, or just like before, if you wish to add on for just that oblique engagement more, slowly reach the right arm forward like you're serving in front of you, or just stay here. Especially if that low back is tender, mid back's tender, just stay right here. And now start to let that top hand soften down and in front of you as it pulls you up into your warrior two. Breathe and be here now as I release and trust in my unfolding. Let's slowly inhale to find our reverse triangle. Reach that front hand high and maybe look down and back as you just look back. Remembering all that is within you. And what is within you is greater than anything outside of you. So as you release, trust in your unfolding as you look back to your hand, your top hand, spreading the fingers wide like a light. So now slowly soften back to our warrior two. Yep, my dog wants another treat. So we're going to reverse cartwheel those hands down, framing the front leg again, and then pivoting that rear foot. So when you're ready, slowly soften that front knee down, or that rear knee down, and then bring the left hand there underneath the shoulder, reach the right hand high, spread. I release and trust in my unfolding. And now soften the right hand back to meet the earth. And then when you're ready, sink your hips back, exhaling. As you just let yourself release and trust here. Let's slowly begin to shift back forward, taking your time. We're going to lift the rear knee when you're ready, and then we're going to step back forward. So just take that moment to pause, let your head sink down. Just breathe and be here now. We're going to do one final chair pose, and we're just going to bring the last little bit of heat. So maybe you start to heel toe the feet closer together. Really feeling the knees maybe start to touch, and then start to sink the hips back, and maybe reach the hands forward into your chair pose. Feel the navel reach to the spine. And then we're going to do that opening chair pose. So where we step open. So right foot steps open as we squat down, and then stay squatted down as you step the feet back together. Now left foot squats open and then back together. Right again. Back together, left. Back together, right. Back together, left. One more time. Right opens. Back together, left, back together. And then when you're ready, inhale, rise, maybe a mini upward hand salute, mini back bend. And then let the hands circle down, back to mountain stance, and maybe bring the space between your feet again. And just breathe and be here now as you release and trust in your unfolding. Let's take our inhale into our swan dive, forward fold, soften the knees, hinge at the hips, fold forward. We're going to do one final stance here each side. So we're going to go into our warrior one. So let's take our right foot and take a step back. So the rear foot is grounded now, that right foot. And then come to your fingertips, and when you're ready, inhale. And now exhale, let the right arm fold behind you, and then the left. And just breathe here. And just let the heart expand and receive as you have been releasing. Maybe let the outer eye soften for this moment as you find your stability. And then slowly release the gaze, release the arms. We're going to bring the hands back to the earth. So slowly let the hands fold down as you soften, surrendering. And then step the right foot in. And then the left foot steps back so that you're prepared for warrior one. Rear heel is grounded in, rear foot's turned out to about 10 o'clock. Engaging the core, come to your fingertips. Inhale, rise. Square the hips forward, and then slowly soften the hands down, wrapping the left arm and then the right arm behind you, wrapping the hands on the elbows. Maybe the gaze looks high as you release and trust in your unfolding. Just gonna let the gaze soften and challenge the balance just a little bit. Anytime we change our drishti, our gaze challenges our balance. And then begin to open and just let the gaze rest at the horizon. Slowly unfold your arms and then melt the hands back down. We're going to step the feet back together, final forward fold, whatever you need here, just hang here. Shake the hips out a little bit. And then we're getting ready to step the right foot and then the left foot back. So take your time stepping back to downward dog. Plug the shoulders in, find your inverted V. And then we're going to slowly melt the knees down, relax the feet, sink the hips back. Maybe you keep your arms reaching forward, or maybe you draw the hands back, wrapping the hands around the heels, and just breathe. Now draw the hands underneath the shoulders, lift the head up, and then cross the feet at the ankles to bring you forward so that we're back in our seated position. And if you need a blanket underneath your hips, go ahead. And then we're going to get ready for our cow face pose. So we'll start with that right leg underneath and then the left leg on top. So you can either stack the knees or bring the ankle on top of the knee, whichever is for you is the best thing. So now let's just reach those arms both high, and then we're going to fold that left arm down, patting ourselves in the back, and then bring that right arm behind us, reaching for the fingertips, or maybe you grab your strap here. And we're just going to sit nice and tall up here and breathe. Trying to get that head, heart, and hips all aligned. I release and trust in my unfolding. One more breath here. And then slowly let the fingertips release the arms, unfold the arms, and then let the hands walk in front of you. And then gently find your forward fold wherever you are. And just let your head bow down. Let your back body relax as you release and trust in your unfolding. So now take your time and walk your hands back in space. We're going to take that top foot, that left foot, and just slowly bring it to the outside edge of the right thigh. So whatever feels right for you. Point that knee high, and then let's draw that right arm out, wrap it around the knee, and then inhale that left arm up, and then create that kickstand behind you. Just let that belly press into the thigh as you breathe. I release and trust in my unfolding. And then just start to let the gaze release, looking forward. And then let the rest of the body unwind. And then we'll uncross the legs. So now let's bring that left leg underneath. Remember, you can stack the knees or stack the ankle above the knees if that's for you. So whatever is for you. And then let's inhale, reach both hands high. And now pat yourself on the back with that right hand. And then let the left arm drop down and behind you, bending at the elbow, reaching for those fingertips. Even if it's just an energetic reach. And just breathe as you are here now. I release and trust in my unfolding. Now let your arms unfold. Let them unwind. Walk your hands forward. And when you're ready, find whatever forward fold works for you. Just letting the back body unfurl and release. Letting the hips soften. And when you're ready, slowly rise back up. Take your time. Let the head stack last. And then we'll take that top right knee and we'll just let the foot find the earth outside of that left thigh. And then let's draw that left arm out, wrap it around the knee, draw the right arm high, and then exhale, let the hand drop down like a kickstand. I release and trust in my unfolding. Just feel the belly press against the thigh. And now we'll just release only the gaze, just start to look forward. And then let the rest of the body unwind. Pardon. And then gently uncross your legs. And then we're going to slowly roll back. So take your time, slowly roll back onto your spine. Make any minor adjustments and then draw the knees in one more time. Maybe circle the knees, find your happy baby, find that last back body release so that you can rest, so that you can soften into all of this. So when you're ready, when it's right for you, maybe start to draw both knees in, start to draw the head to the knees, and just squeeze your whole body into a nice tight ball. And then release and let your body relax. And just receive the restoration it needs after the work you did tonight. As you release and trust in your unfolding, let all parts of your body just be melting down to the earth beneath you. Let yourself be held. Because in order to step into our greatness, we have to let go. So perhaps as you lie quietly, perhaps you can begin to meditate on a particular pain or even fear that beats within you. And if it feels right, you can begin to cup your hands on your chest about your heart, around your heart. And perhaps you can feel that pain or fear beating in your chest like a butterfly, like a small thing of beauty waiting to be released. We have to acknowledge the pain to allow it to be our warrior. So as you breathe, when it's right for you, begin to open your hands and let it go. Let it rise out of you into the open. And just begin to note how it feels once you stop holding on to it. And you just let go. And just let yourself rest in the stillness for now as you let it go. As you release and trust in your unfolding. And now just let your breath bring you back as you breathe a nice, full, deep breath in, sealing in our meditation and our practice. Maybe it feels right, just start to lengthen out your arms, lengthen out your legs, just point and flex a few times. And then whenever feels right, bend the knees maybe, and just roll to one side and just pause and be there for a moment. Let yourself look towards the earth in your heart as you breathe in with gratitude for that support and the earth that's always there and the bounty it provides. And now gently press yourself up to seated. Take your time, find a nice seated position. Maybe move the fluff out from underneath you again and just plant those fingertips in. And heart, hips aligned. Let's slowly turn the palms up. As you breathe in, I release and trust in my unfolding. Let that just marinate down through the mind, through the words, and into the heart. As you draw the thumbs to the heart and you breathe that in, and then bow your head in an act of surrender, connecting the mind to the heart. And from my heart to your heart, I'm wishing you guys just a blessed rest of your night or morning. And just now bow our heads and namaste. Thank you all. Appreciate you both.
Hey, Jenny.